I'm Josh Kavanaugh.
And we're here to cover anything and everything football related you could throw at us. Make sure to follow us. Go to Chief Pigskin. Follow on Chief Pigskin. I think that's called like us on Chief Pigskin. Follow me on Snapchat. That's Nate Allball.
You can follow me on Coach Cav on Twitter.
And come to our clinic. Next week we got a clinic going on in Champaign. I got 3 great coaches. We're really just filming footage that we're going to sell on chiefpigskin.com. But you can get a seat for free. So come grab a free seat. If you want a free seat here in Champaign, Illinois, you just have to go to chiefpigskin.com and follow the links for the Game Changer Clinic Champaign, and you can register for a free seat. So take advantage of that. Literally, I got some great guys coming to town, so take advantage of that. Today we're going to play a little cover 2. We're going to talk about, are you ready to be a head coach? And we're going to hit the whiteboard again, over to the war room, cover some goal line offense. So let's lock it down.
All right, thing we're going to talk about today is, are you ready for a head coaching job? Big question for a lot of young coaches. Are you even ready to get back into coaching? You might have been in for a while. You might have wanted to get out, or you might have been out for a while, and you might want to get back in, and you're thinking, am I ready to take this job back on? So, but really we're going to focus on, for the younger coaches probably, are you ready for a job? And you're going to throw some ideas. I'm going to try thumbs up, thumbs down. Are those valid reasons to get in? Are they valid reasons or not?
Or just bounce off any of ideas I have. Feel free to bounce something back, and maybe you got a different idea. Run with an idea of mine, maybe. Because my ideas are good.
Always.
Okay. Here's how it started for me. I was like 28, 29. Actually, no, that's not true. It starts here, 27. And I like to say I hadn't even paid attention to football yet. I've been coaching for several years. I hadn't even paid attention, but I wanted to be a head coach so bad. Our head coach left. And I'm calling my dad, and my dad was an old football coach for years and years, and you even actually played for him, so. But I said, hey, I want to be a head coach. And he said to me, Nathaniel, that's what he says to me, that's what he calls me, he says, you're not ready. No. And I was so insulted. I said, Dad, how can you say that I'm not ready? I couldn't believe, but he justifies it. I can't remember his reasons. I was too mad, and I was being a punk kid, right? And I won't listen. You're not ready. So I interview. They give me an interview, nice enough. I don't get the job. They bring a guy in. He makes me his defensive coordinator. And within a week or two, I can tell I wasn't ready.
Oh, yeah.
This guy knew football. He came in, he knew football, and he took me under his wing and basically whipped me into shape. It was like, boom, this young man is how you coach ball. I mean, we got after it.
There's so many things that you don't know. And I can, similar situation where I got in really young and remember a coach telling me it's okay, because I knew that I wasn't ready probably about a week into it. And I remember making a phone call and going, I can't resign. I know I'm not ready. What am I supposed to do? And he said, well, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. Go and make those mistakes, and don't make them again. And that's the only thing you can do. You don't know. I guess we're now veterans in that, and not really veterans, but we've been through that a little bit. Now I'm old enough to know that I was clearly not ready then. Clearly not aware of all the other stuff you're going to do. And that's something I think that we both realized, that after we got into coaching, we realized it's such a small part is the X's and O's part.
Right. There's so much more, as all you guys know, how much goes into coaching. I've got 3 main things here. I think you have to be these things. Judge for yourself if you're thinking, am I ready? And it's hard to be patient, because when you want to be a head coach, you want to be in charge, and you want to be in charge now. But I would encourage you to ask these 3 questions. If you are yes to them all, I think you're ready. Okay? Number 1, do you know both sides of the ball? It can't be, I hear all the time, you probably do too, and I hear it on forums and guys that would even email me, I'm really an offense guy. That's what that's what I always hear. I'm really an offense guy. And they just kind of start conversations off of that. And maybe you're at home thinking, I'm an offense guy. And there are offense guys, so I don't want to say there's anything wrong with that. But I think it's very important. If you have a desire to be a head coach, I think you can't say, I'm a fill-in-the-blank guy. Right? You're a football guy. You better know, if you're going to take over a program, both sides, and you better know them well, because if you're going to ask other men, grown men, to follow you,
Yep.
you have to have answers, and you have to have them on both sides of the ball.
Part of that's true. So I'm kind of going to say, yeah, that's true. But also, if you've got a qualified coach,
Okay.
you don't have to be 100% knowledgeable about what's going on defensively. What if you got a D coordinator or an offensive guy that wants to run something totally different, and you got to split up your duties, and you got to coach your coaches along the way.
Right.
But sometimes you can't coach both sides. I've tried to do that before, and it's so much. You've got to step back and help them a little bit, but you do have to know enough of what's going on to see the mistakes that your coaches are going to make or that you're making. You're not self-scouting, you're doing it. And we're simplifying it right now. There are guys out there that can coach one side and they never even go near the other side, but they have quality, competent coaches. You have to.
But
So
I still say,
you better know both sides.
if you don't know that other side, whatever it is, offense or
Yep.
defense, even if you have a good guy, I don't think you're ready to be a head coach. You've got to know it all.
And how many young coaches really know those? Because we just probably played one in college, or none.
Exactly.
And you don't, you didn't play 3 or 4 spots, which
It takes time.
Oh, absolutely.
It takes time. And it takes time probably as an assistant on both sides.
Yep.
So if you're an assistant, you've been on one side for a while, you know you want to be a head coach, is it worth going to your head coach and saying, what do you think, coach, about me trying the other side of the ball?
Flipping over, and that's some of the things with younger coaches. You said, they know one side. They know how to play running back, or they're been a wide receiver, or they play offensive line. Maybe you might want to slide them over and say, hey, what's it like from the other side? If they truly have aspirations of being a head coach at some point. So that goes back to coaching your coaches. All right, what's point 2 you looking at here?
Well, the second thing I think you have to have, this one isn't always under your control.
Yep.
You have to have coached under someone good. Now, if this is out of your control, and you just maybe you haven't been under someone good, and not that you have to judge the person above you, but I think if you're looking at the person above you and he's well respected and he's been around for a while and he's won, you're under someone that's pretty good. So you can learn, and this is where you learn all those things that they can't teach you. That have nothing to do with X's and O's. That they can't teach you in school. That just take time to learn. You're going to learn these from being under someone good. Now, if you can't be under someone good, you're finding people who are good in the off season.
Yes.
You're finding them and you're learning from them, and you have to. It takes time. It can't just be, oh, I met with so-and-so once. You have to work this into your routine. I'm studying to learn from people who are good.
There's 2 points you got there. First of all, you could study under someone that's good, and they have to be willing to coach you along there too.
That's a good point.
They have to be willing to spend the time with you outside. You do things the right way, you spend X's and O's time. Then there's the other aspect of it. It's not X's and O's all the time. It's all the other stuff. You talked about how about that person would teach you to do those things and then give you a system of knowing what you're supposed to do next. Not just fly by the seat of your pants. We're talking about off-season practice plans, management styles in the off-season of how you get kids involved in the weight room and your off-season workouts. All of those things all come into, do you know how to do those from a good program? Or you got to go somewhere and see, oh, this is how they do those things. Because you can't reinvent the wheel each year in football. You've got to go with things that are tried and true for a while and that fit your system, fit your personality. You got to be your own person, but at the same time, you got to see some of the good things that have been done in front of you. So absolutely, without a doubt, you got to work under somebody good that's taught you, and that is going to be able to help you continue to grow as a coach. Because once you become a head coach, learning time's not over. That's really just when it starts.
All right, third and final thing that I think you have to be able to say, yes, I am this. In order for you to say, realistically, I'm ready to be a head coach. And it is maturity. You have to be mature. Now, I think that's tough because maturity can be relative. Your seniors are much more mature than your freshmen.
Should be.
And that's easy to see. So maturity is relative, but I think that to be a head coach, and I lacked some of this, and I think you learn a lot of this, and you gain maturity by being a head coach, and you gain maturity just by being alive, getting older. You have to have maturity. You have to be able to handle trouble without it making you crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to handle things like the band just got onto your practice field. It's Thursday before your first game and you got to practice.
Mm-hmm.
You have to handle that like a pro.
Right. Being able to be, think through the solutions and look at the bigger picture, and it's not just, the game is not just about you. You also have to think about, whether it's on their practice field or it's on the game field. It just rained and it trashed your field. Then what do you do? How do you approach any of those conflictual situations and make sure you handle them with grace, with class, make sure that you don't alienate some of the stakeholders in your district.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's hard. And I think that maturity piece it's invaluable. You cannot be without it.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to judge for yourself. Mm-hmm. You may want to ask someone else to give me your view on, am I mature enough to handle conflict? How about conflict amongst the ranks with my assistant coaches? There's so much that goes into maturity, and I would relate it to this just to kind of close things up here. We're going a little long, but I've heard a lot of names thrown out for a lot of college jobs, and the only thing I think college almost takes that next step. The only thing I think some guys are lacking, there's some guys that are winning like crazy, is maturity. I think that maturity part of being a head coach is very valuable, hard to learn in a book.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes time, and that's why some of you guys, if you're in your 20s still, I have to be the old man here for a moment and say, try, I know it's not easy because I've been there, try to be patient, because you want that maturity.
You have to. One of some of the advice I got from your dad at one point when I learned about being an assistant coach, first of all, was whatever job you're given, small, big, whatever, do it the best you can do, no matter how small or how big that job is, do the best you can with it. And that's hard to do, and now you have all these extra jobs, and that's one of the things maturity-wise, because sometimes the young coaches, high school-wise, I think I was, I had a few seniors that were already 18, 19 years old, and I was early 20s, early to mid-20s. Some of those kids were awful close age-wise, and they want to look at you as a peer, maybe, and you're not. You have to have that professional distance with those kids, too.
Well, I feel like we're just scratching the surface of this topic, and I want to go on, but we've got to limit our show. So the good news is, it sounds like we got plenty to talk about for many more shows to go. Let's jump to the war room.
Yep.
And it's going to be, it's my turn for the war room, and we're going to talk goal line offense. Welcome to the war room. It's my turn to cover goal line offense and what we would do. We're a wing T team, kind of a separate story how we ended up being a wing T team. I wasn't always a wing T guy, but we are now. And on the goal line, our kids know we're going to go to belly at some point in time. So let me drop belly. We're going to go belly from tackle over. So that's going to make this guy become a backside tight end. And this will be our fullback. This is our halfback. We call him F. Our wingback is our Z, and we'd like to replace our little pencil neck X receiver with someone a little thicker, probably a second tight end when we're down the goal line. And we like them here in this nasty split. First thing we're going to try, likely, we've got to try belly. 30 seconds to go, game on the line, second goal from the 2. We can punch in belly from here. Gap down backer, pull and scoop here. We're going to call this tunnel block. He wants to drive this kick out man. He wants to drive him backwards if he can. We have, from time to time we had trouble with this guy kind of getting nosy. He might miss that block. So we're trying to dig him out, root him out, drive him backwards. My X is going to go down to backer, and my Z here is going to tunnel the outside backer out here. Now, hopefully he's never even a factor, but we're going to show some rocket motion here just to get a backer or 2 or safety or 3 to be flowing. And then here we go. We're going to hit you hard with belly, hit you in the mouth. Okay, this is our best stuff. We've got to go to it. If I don't score here, I'm probably going to have to call timeout. 20 seconds to go or so. And we might I'm stumbling, but I got to believe we're going to go to a play action pass with 2 downs but no timeouts. And we're going to throw something super safe out to the corner of the end zone. That's us. we're a play action team. If that doesn't work and I've got one play left to beat you, I'm going to have to go to a complementary play to my belly here. And for us, that's the belly play with the tag. And our tag is seal. We'll try belly seal. And a lot of times, if you stopped our belly, well, there's a couple reasons you could stop it, but one of the most common reasons is this D end here starts really squeezing this down block hard. He squeezes it so hard, and almost sometimes he'll be knifing down in there, not even paying attention. We're having a hard time kicking him out. So instead, we'll call the seal, and we're just going to use our wing back to seal this guy down. So he washes him down, and now our guard is going to pull a touch deeper, a touch wider, and kick now the next man out. That's our belly seal. It's a tough 1-2 punch. Your straight up belly and your belly seal, extremely similar to pretty much everyone on the field, but it's that little bit of difference that you need to punch it in on the goal line. As Josh said last week, when you're on the goal line, you got to throw your best stuff. This is our best. All right, be sure to comment below, and if you have anything that you'd like for us to talk about, go ahead and send that over to me via email. It's coachallball@gmail.com. Don't forget to send us some pics for the War Room. And don't forget to check out chiefpigskin.com. There's lots of great videos for sale. You can also check out hundreds of videos that I had hit the road for and have available for you to check out here with the Chief Pigskin channel. So that's all we got, boys. Thanks for joining us on Lockdown. We'll see you next week.